Ghostbusters is a beloved comedy classic and entertainment franchise, but did you know it all started back in the 1800s? The 1983 film Ghostbusters was a worldwide success, but its journey to the screen started back in the middle of the 19th century and travels right through writer and actor Dan Aykroyd's family tree. The 1800s were a time of religious and spiritual awakening in the United States, and one of the significant movements in this era was called spiritualism. Spiritualism basically boils down to this: the belief that spirits exist and can be communicated with through a trance medium. And that's pretty much it. Starting around 1840, it spawned a wave of public interest. Since spiritualism lacked a strict doctrine or churches, it allowed almost anyone of any background to adopt the ideas, and these ideas spread like wildfire. The movement created many celebrities out of popular trance mediums. These mediums claimed to be able to communicate with the other side in seances and on the stage, and often had the spirits perform tricks like table lifting and blowing through spirit trumpets. Many of these mediums were tricksters and charlatans, but many were sincere and used their platform to advocate for women's rights, the abolition of slavery, and the improved treatment of Native Americans. Naturally, books on ghosts and spirits followed, and organizations to research paranormal phenomena were founded, such as the Ghost Club of London in 1862. Ghost Club membership included eminent and respected figures in society, such as prominent scientists Sir William Crookes and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. A second British organization, the Society for Psychical Research, was founded in 1882, and 2 years later, an American chapter was started stateside. The goal of these organizations was to approach the world of the paranormal scientifically. The American Society is still around today and still publishes an annual journal. Around the turn of the last century, these ideas caught the attention of a Kingston, Ontario dentist named Samuel Augustus Aykroyd. Aykroyd had a scientific mind, but he also subscribed to spiritualist concepts. In 1917, he met a young man named Walter Ashurst, who claimed to be a full trance medium, and they began to hold seances at Aykroyd's farmhouse. Between 1921 and 1933, they held at least 83 different seances. In the 1930s, a spirit called Blue Light started making predictions for them, both accurate and inaccurate, and produced spirit lights and ectoplasm.
He slimed me.
Sam Aykroyd died in 1933, but the seance circle continued on for another 10 years. His son, Maurice Aykroyd, a Bell telephone engineer, even contemplated developing a machine to communicate with the dead, something Thomas Edison himself had spoken about publicly. Maurice's son, Peter Aykroyd, kept up the family interest, and in 1981, his son, Dan, was at the family farmhouse, the site of many seances, and looking for something to read. He picked up a copy of the journal from the American Society of Psychical Research and found an article about quantum physics and parapsychology. And a light bulb went off. Dan, an actor and comedian, was a fan of the old ghost comedies of Bob Hope and the Bowery Boys, and he thought to himself, wouldn't it be great to update the ghost movies from the 40s? He could keep the comedy but modernize them with a more scientific or parascientific approach. And Ghostbusters was born. Dan sat down and wrote a script, and with input from writer Harold Ramis and director Ivan Reitman, and lots of improvising from co-star Bill Murray, Ghostbusters hit the screen in 1983 to massive success. It spawned a hit song, sequels, a reboot, video games, cartoons, comic books, action figures, toys, and is now a billion-dollar franchise. And today, interest in the paranormal and ghost hunting has never been stronger, largely sparked by the success of Ghostbusters. Dan's father, Peter, even wrote a book, The History of Ghosts, which covers the spiritualist movement and the Aykroyd family's involvement in it. As Dan Aykroyd himself says, it's the family business. Cheers. As far as I know, Dan Aykroyd has never specifically identified the article he read in the journal, but after some digging, I believe it is a 1976 review of the book Quantum Physics and Parapsychology, edited by Laura O'Terry and published by the Parapsychology Foundation.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.